podcast where we can say what you can't. I'm your moderator, Vanessa. I've got Harold, CJ, Tony, Adrian, and Aaron here with me today, and we are going to talk about the NFL quarterback carousel today. There are a lot of teams that are going to be looking for quarterbacks, needing quarterbacks, mine included. Please say a prayer for me. The NBA season so far. The Mavericks anthem position, what Cuban attempted to do, or what he was doing until he announced that he did it, and the NBA made him stop. The Lombardi Trophy designer family wanting an apology from a drunken Brady tossing the Lombardi Trophy to another boat. I mean,
Epic.
Yeah, that was like that's like the biggest slap in the face to Bill Belichick ever.
Hey, talk about that. Stop it. Save all that.
The Australian Open, Serena's performance so far, and whether or not Coco Gauff is the heir to the throne. And then last, we're going to give Usman some love for 17 straight wins in the UFC.
Don't shake your head, Tony. That dude deserves love for going 17-0.
He said put some respect on his name.
Put some mother effing respect.
Okay, so
See that circle with an X through it? No.
I'm with Tony on this one, man.
No.
Whatever. All right, let's go.
Okay, let's get started.
Harold, wait a minute. First of all, you can't say nothing about no fighter with
Don't
that
do it.
atrocious list.
Here we go.
Hey, let's not even talk about his list.
Don't
Let's
start
talk about
that.
his personal list.
We have to start off.
Please start us off with the NFL quarterback carousel. Please start.
Who's starting off?
I said CJ because nobody.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we have a plethora of teams that could potentially be with new QBs this coming
That means
season.
a lot for you non-educated people.
Yeah, plethora. That's a big SAT word I learned from Adrian like 2 hours ago.
That's
What's
PSAT.
up?
But
That's PSAT, not SAT.
Shout out to
PSAT.
public schools. Shout out to public schools.
South Carolina public schools. But so far
Frederick Douglass.
we've already seen the Rams trade for Stafford, and they ended, and so the Lions end up with Goff. So that's already two.
Yeah, that's laughable.
Yeah,
That's laughable.
We covered that already. We already talked about that. And then the Lions, not the Lions, but the Jags. We already know the Jags are going to draft Trevor Lawrence. That's a given.
Maybe.
From
maybe.
Clemson.
The
Shut
Eagles
up.
are.
I feel a trade coming with that.
Man, that
I
is
do
not
too.
happening, bro. No
I
way.
think-
No
I think-
way.
Surgery might make them think about it.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you give up enough draft
No way.
collateral,
Hey,
bro,
hey,
they might
Trevor
think about it.
Lawrence is due to be out for 6 months due to his shoulder injury. And so
That's non-throwing shoulder injury.
That's non-throwing. That don't have nothing to do with it.
Hey, wait
But
a minute. The
Okay.
thing is that again, with that, mechanics is everything.
Ugh.
You know, the NFL is going to be looking at that. I mean, with a lot of scrutinization. Even though this is non-throwing shoulder, mechanics is everything. You got a
That's
bad
true.
non-throwing shoulder, it's going to affect your mechanics. Period.
He will be a Jaguar. Let's keep moving.
Let me throw out why I think there is a possibility, no matter how great or how small this possibility is, that the Jaguars trade this pick.
All right, let's hear it.
And it's my reasoning is, if you look at the Jaguars, right? Take the team in general.
Okay.
Is a quarterback going to fix their problems?
No.
Is a quarterback, no matter how great they are, going to turn them into a winning team?
No.
How many
At
holes
all.
can that quarterback fill?
I agree with you because to me, whenever they were the greatest is whenever they had Mark Brunell, and
Right, and they had a stout defense.
Yeah, he was above average.
They've gotten rid of too many people. They had a good defense before,
Right,
then they
but that's the
started
thing.
trading everybody,
If
and
somebody
now-
comes to you and want to give you, if somebody comes to you and they want to give you most of their picks this year, early picks next year, and picks after that to give you a 3-year window to build a squad with, already you're going to have a first-year coach. He's already going to have a 4-year, deal to look, hey, you got this time frame to start building.
So I'm
You're going to go ahead and take one quarterback instead of taking maybe 14 to 15 prospects to start filling those holes?
I agree. I
Jags-
agree with what you're saying, Tony. It's what it comes down to me, in my opinion, is the relationship between the coach and the GM. Are they thinking like how are you thinking? Because to me, a new head coach should come in there along with pressure from the owner and be like, hey, look, let's make a splash. Let's go ahead and get Trevor Lawrence. He is number one by everyone's list. He's the favorite to go number one. But if they're thinking smartly, they'll do what you said, Tony.
You want to know?
Here's the thing. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you guys.
I got something else to say.
Let me tell you why you guys are wrong, right? The Jags are not in a win now mode, bro. They're not in a win now mode. Like even if they go out and draft if they go out and draft all these people you're talking about, they still not gonna be a contender next year or the year after that. What are head coaches tied to? They're typically tied to their quarterback.
They'll be closer to a winning franchise with Jags having multiple picks come in than one pick.
They also have money though. They got plenty of cap space.
I'll put it to you like this, and Vanessa's gonna back me up on this. I'm gonna take this because I can only speak on the things that I see and how it was done. We're gonna take the Saints when they got Drew Brees. When Drew Brees got to New Orleans, he didn't have anything. They built him a squad.
Sure.
They got lucky with Colston, right?
That was damn
very lucky. And once you got your wide receiver, them next drafts, we got our one. Now you know what we need to focus on? Let's get Drew a defense. Now, you know what? He need an offensive line. They built that squad with Drew Brees.
So I think,
and that wasn't a draft that they brought him in as a free agent. You can get a solid quarterback in and build a squad around him and make a winner.
I agree with you. So I guess my question is that if you're the GM and someone wants to trade up to get Trevor, what do you offer? Not just a single swap. What do you offer?
No.
I mean, so what do you offer? What do you offer?
The Cowboys gonna offer Dak Prescott.
That's not worth it.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
They're gonna offer Prescott. They're gonna offer Prescott and a bunch of picks.
Watson for the first round. That would be an even swap to me because they're already saying the only way Watson could take they could take a trade for Watson is somebody's gonna have to literally offer everything for the next 6 years, basically, to get that dude.
So you think Deshaun, Burt, Trevor even swap? That's what you're saying at this point?
I would say
Deshaun above Trevor.
Absolutely.
If Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jags.
About the pick itself. I'm talking about just trading the pick.
She's just talking about a swap.
Watson's worth way more than one draft pick. He's worth way more than one first round draft pick.
If you see what these fools with the Lions and the Rams did, Deshaun is gonna break the bank.
Oh yeah.
It don't matter what pick you got.
If I'm Houston, then to me that's something I would entertain. I would try to get at least two number ones.
It's gonna be more than that.
I need three number ones. I need three number ones, a couple number twos,
and your quarterback.
Houston don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and your quarterback.
Yeah,
Houston don't know what they're doing.
That would kill Jacksonville to do something like that. So that's not going to happen.
It's not happening.
I would think that Houston being able to take somebody in the very first round, maybe another quarterback that's not disgruntled, that it might be worth getting out of that first round spot. Somebody right then and there. That's all I was.
The only thing I could think.
Houston's franchise is bukkake right now. I mean, that's basically where they at.
The only reason that I could see the only upside to Watson going to Jacksonville is that he would attract other free agents to come play. That's the only thing I can think of, because you got to think think about it. If you got your quarterback,
y'all been to Jacksonville.
Listen. Let's just listen. If you're a number 2, maybe a number 3 receiver on your squad, and you want your shine now, Jacksonville don't have no number 1, don't have a number 2
or number 2
or number 3. So if you're a solid number 2 on your squad and you want to be a 1, and they just got Deshaun Watson.
What about Robinson out of Chicago?
Right. Think about him. He a 1. What if he go down there with Watson? That gives him a legitimate 1.
DJ Chark is a solid quarterback.
I think all of this. I think this is the potential to have a domino effect. And what I mean by that is that Deshaun going wherever will affect everybody else, including Russell Wilson, including Dak.
Aaron Rodgers.
Right. This to me has the potential to be a face-changing event as far as where everyone goes and how we knew certain things. I kind of like it. It's chaos.
If if Jacksonville trade out that number one and get that quarterback, this whole draft is screwed.
Oh, yeah,
Everything's out the window.
I
Everything.
agree.
I agree with that.
Everything.
Yeah, that throws
Did y'all hear that, bro? Did y'all hear that supposed trade idea they had Friday? They talked about on First Things First with Nick Wright.
Oh, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
No, I'm saying no. Supposedly.
It was a 4-year trade.
We know it ain't gonna happen.
It was a 4-team trade.
They better not let it happen because they wouldn't let us do that for Clowney.
I mean, but man,
I wish I would have got Clowney. I wish you would have got Clowney.
We're gonna run it back though for a second.
All right, go ahead.
What they said. All right, so they, in the imaginary trade here, that's what it is right now. You would have Russell Wilson going to the Jets, Deshaun Watson going to the 49ers.
That will never happen.
That would be good.
The Texans would get Sam Darnold and 3 first-round picks, 1 second-round pick, and the Seattle Seahawks would get Garoppolo, Nick Bosa, and 2 first-round picks in that imaginary trade.
I think the winners out of that would be Seattle and San Fran easily.
But that ain't gonna happen because them teams not finna trade with each other. San Fran and Seattle not gonna be involved in the trade.
They in the same division. You're right.
I tried to explain this dude at work. I tried to explain this dude at work. Teams in the same division do not trade with them teams. Like the Falcons and Saints not finna make a trade. We're not finna do that. That's not what's gonna happen.
I have the hunch. In that imaginary trade that you just mentioned, and the only thing that I have a hunch about is, because I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I'm seeing all the tea leaves about what's going on. I think Dallas is going to be involved in some sort of major, if it is some kind of major trade, I think Dallas is going to be involved. I think they're talking about landing potentially Russell Wilson. I even heard, which is ridiculous. The other thing I heard is that they're actually considering moving up to make a trade for Trevor Lawrence, which that to me is insane. That is insane. But if they do, I think Dallas could afford to do it. And here's the
your best Oakland Raiders impersonation. Go ahead.
But I guess here's the reason why. If you look at Dallas, if you look at just talent on the roster, the talent is there. It's just for whatever reason, and I can't.
Jerry Jones is looking for his great white hype.
But you ain't going. You're not losing games because of your quarterback, though. You're not.
Jones is looking for his great white hype. That's what that is.
And they're tired of dealing with that. They're tired of dealing with that. They're tired of dealing with that.
If the fans keep showing up, keep buying the jerseys, keep supporting that team, Jerry gonna keep thinking he's right. Jerry Jones is the first, second, and third problem with that team. And then cockeyed ass McCarthy is the other people bringing in the back end.
Jerry Jones is the first 10.
Okay, Dallas gonna mess around and not have a quarterback end up with Kellen Mond. Watch.
Right.
Playing Gabbard, he needs some work.
You'll get Kellen Mond. Dak Prescott negative 6.5.
He's from Texas A&M, man. So I mean, he like he's a Texas QB, but
we will have a special Dallas hate edition. I'm gonna go back to DJ.
Harold and Aaron can have that by their damn self. You want to talk about them?
No, I'll be in that conversation. I'll be in that.
Hey, I tell you my team of bums.
CJ, what's the next? We talking about Dallas no more. We're not Dallas.
They'll be saving money under the cap. They will be saving money under the cap.
We're not talking about Dallas no more.
We already agreed that the Jags thing is up in the air. Possibly, y'all think that. I don't think that. I think Lawrence is going to be a Jag. But anyway, we already know Carson Wentz is leaving the Eagles, so that's going to put Jalen Hurts in place. As far as Wentz goes, there's a couple options out there.
Chicago.
He ain't retiring. I still think he ends up in Chicago.
He's not going to a division team. He's not.
What? Chicago has the worst luck, man.
That's not a division team.
Yeah, they're not in the division. Same conference.
Same conference. I mean, he's not going there.
Tony, I'm the one drinking, not you.
He going to Indy. First of all, let's not ever assume that you're the only one. Us light-skinned people stick together. I see you do it. I gotta support you.
My brother.
Shout out the AA Alcoholics Anonymous right here.
First of all, those are quitters. You don't quit that.
We are not quitting.
That is horrible. Shout out to our sponsors for sticking with us after that comment. Shout out to them.
So Vanessa's team, the Saints, they're gonna end up with the Jameis Winston and the running back, what's the dude name here? He played here, running back playing quarterback.
Taysom or Taysom?
They will end up with that combo.
Hey, look, I gotta ask a question. I gotta ask this, okay? Look, Jameis Winston, Mr. 40-40 man. I mean,
he got LASIK surgery, dog. He might be seeing better.
Hey man, you take away them 40 interceptions. You take away them 40 interceptions. He's a solid quarterback.
Do y'all remember?
He made the best crab legs in the game.
They free.
So wait a minute. When I'm sitting here eating my W's. So I got a question. So do y'all remember Troy Williamson? CJ, I know you remember him. Y'all remember Troy Williamson? He had the exact same surgery. The dude could not catch a cold wide open. Why? What makes you think Jameis Winston is going to do any better?
I can answer.
Let Vanessa answer. It's her team.
I think the problem that Jameis had in Tampa, because if you take I don't think it's that. If you take Tom out of Tampa, you got that same silly ass squad not being able to do anything. As a matter of fact, if Bruce wouldn't have passed on and just let Tom handle his business, they wouldn't have went to the Super Bowl.
I can agree with Vanessa.
Tom got into Arians' face and said, "Let me handle this," and he backed up and let him handle it. But prior to that, how many coordinators did Winston have in Tampa? How many coaches? Their owners were horrible, and you need that stability. He's coming out of FSU. FSU don't run no pro style offense like a lot of the other teams do. So he didn't really have any stability. Where now he comes to New Orleans, he gets to sit behind Drew. He gets
Hall of Fame quarterback.
The same offensive coordinator in place, even though he don't call the plays, but he's been there. Sean's been there. I mean, we've had the same people pretty much in place other than those who promote out and sometimes they come back. I just think that he's going to do better. And I think there was a reason why Sean purposely didn't play him when Drew went out. Aside from the promises he made to the running back, I think
jump in here right quick.
He was scared.
I agree with Vanessa. I do too. Because think about this. If you look at Bruce Arians, listen. If you look up the QBs who played under Bruce Arians, they have like career high interception totals their first year in his program, in his system. So that's a legit argument. And Brady was, I mean, early on, you know, the whole no risk it, no biscuit concept.
He was throwing a lot of interceptions.
Brady was he threw most of his interceptions the first half of the season.
Oh, so I got a question for you.
Hold on. We got one more. We got somebody else want to talk. Y'all been talking too much as it is. Go ahead. Come on, Hair Bear. I got you.
Oh, okay. Hey, I was reading something. Here's what I'm saying, man. This is a bigger thing that needs to be addressed that nobody ever talks about with the NFL. But Winston, not only everything y'all said about Winston led to his failure in Tampa Bay. Think about it. These boys come out of college, they throw them out there to start, to sell tickets, and they're not ready. They're not ready to start. You can look at Winston, you can look at RG3, you can look at that boy Geno Smith, whatever the hell his name was that was with the Jets. They put them boys out there, man, to get their asses knocked out the frame. The learning curve is steep. They don't know how to start. And then like you look at Aaron Rodgers, he sat behind Favre for a lot of years.
That's true.
But he had no time to learn the game.
That's true.
And look at it outside of McCarthy, which is the 6 degrees of separation. That loses, wasted that man half of that man's career. Aaron Rodgers been stellar. He's a stellar quarterback. But you got to give these college boys enough time to develop and quit sticking them out there on the field and hoping that they gonna sell tickets.
Right.
And your team gonna go from 0 and 16 to a championship team.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
I agree with you, AC. I agree with you. Unfortunately, because of the era and time that we're in, we are in the we want it now era. No matter what. They would be satisfied if a rookie came out there and taken them to the Super Bowl in their first year, which has never happened. But people would be satisfied with that. My only point about Jameis is this. I'm a Clemson fan, so I followed him when he was at Florida State. Now, I heard his GPA was great. But I think Jameis is... Oh, it wasn't. So that furthermore gets to the point that I'm about to say. I don't think Jameis Winston is all that bright. I'm just going to be honest. And to
But
me,
see-
I like a quarterback has to be able to read a defense. And whenever you throw 40 interceptions,
Now,
Hell, Pat
let-
Mahomes, he
let me
couldn't last
hold on,
year.
hold on. Let me
but
defend
to
some of them
throw
interceptions.
40 interceptions.
Let me defend. So now, some of those interceptions were deflections
Thank you.
Yeah.
because
And
we
they
got him. We
Yes,
got
that-
him in the 2 games we played. We got him 6 times, and 4 of those were off of deflections where the receiver it went through the receiver's hand or it bounced off his chest.
But then he set the record for pick sixes that year that he threw 40
Yeah, but it's
picks.
deflects off to somebody else. It goes to the quarterback. It doesn't go to the
See,
wide
and
receiver.
that's the thing you gotta think about stats. Stats can be misleading. Just because he
I
had 40
agree.
interceptions doesn't mean he had 40 interceptions doesn't mean he threw 40 interceptions.
This is the
He
same
made-
guy who
he
got
made some bad
suspended
decisions.
and tried to
He
dress
did
out
make some bad
anyway.
decisions. He did make some bad decisions on his throws, but he made a lot of throws where he had to be on the money.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
made a lot of them.
And he just need coaching up.
All right.
He
I
don't
don't
forget
think he- I don't
those
think
4 interceptions. He still led the league in passing.
I think he'll be able to do something. And plus, he has more help with us than he ever had in freaking Tampa.
So
The
do
coaching
we-
is-
do-
the
do-
coaching
do
is
y'all
better
want
and the
Jameis
defense.
to do something, or do y'all want him to go to the Super Bowl? Is he a
I
Super
want-
Bowl
I'm
caliber
not
quarterback?
I'm not looking for miracles after Drew. We, as a
He was
Saints
Super
fan,
Bowl.
you have to tamper your expectations at this point.
Y'all got a
A
good
little
supporting
bit.
cast. Y'all
No.
got
We
y'all
do
got
have, we
players.
do have, but what I'm saying is you can't go from a Drew, just like the Patriots just saw. You can't go from Brady to Cam. It's not gonna work.
Well,
They
all right,
tell you
yeah.
never step into a great man's shoes.
The Saints are also in cap
All
hell,
I'm
so
saying is
that
if
ain't gonna
I
help.
don't like him, and
Yeah.
I would hope that Sean is also telling him he don't have to go out there and try to be the best damn quarterback in the NFC South. We're going straight to the Super Bowl. We need to get him in the mindset of not playing hero ball, not making mistakes like he did in Tampa.
I
Let's-
agree.
He out the lineup.
I got a question for you, Nessa. Who would you take, Jameis Winston or Dak Prescott? Who would you take?
Dak probably.
Okay, that proves my point.
That gonna cost you
Because-
more money though.
How's that prove your point?
No. But I'm not talking about salary cap. I'm talking about talent and what they have produced on the field. Who would you take for the quarterback of the Saints?
If I have to go
Jameis
off,
Winston
if
or
I'm
Dak
going
Prescott?
if I'm going off a past resume and Dak was available, I would want them to go after Dak.
That's everybody would.
Everybody would. That doesn't make you.
If we're
Okay,
going off-
That's not making your point.
My point is this: Dak also has gone through a lot of OCs, not quite as much as Jameis, but he has gone through quite a bit of OCs. So the main thing is this: Dak
He also
Prescott,
played-
who's played in the league shorter than Jameis Winston, lets me furthermore know that to me, Jameis is not ready. He's not going to be that guy. I think
Can I-
Dak.
That could just
I
mean
think-
that Dak is better than him.
Let me,
Like,
Exactly, that's my whole point.
let me ask this
That's
question.
the
But you,
point I'm making.
hey, you can't compare those.
We're talking about who's available. Sean.
Let me tell you why you
got Jameis on the roster.
you can't
already.
compare
But
Dak
the goal
to
is
Jameis.
the goal
You
of having a
cannot.
player on your team is to help you get to the Super Bowl, not just to
You
hey,
can't
look, I
have
want to get 6 or 7 games.
You can't compare those two for one reason. Dak had
line
Zeke
for
in the
one.
backfield. Jameis had who?
and the
Nobody.
offensive line, and the offensive line.
And Dak had an offensive line.
Dallas has had the best offensive line.
Since
Wait
the
a
90s.
minute.
Y'all
Now,
always have a
when-
solid offensive
Now,
line.
when
Always.
Dak's rookie year, I can agree with you. But after that, man, Zeke has gone on a decline. So it's not
And
like
it's
when
still
Dak
better
Dak
than
was putting up
anybody.
numbers.
It's still better than any running back Jameis Winston had.
You can't
I'm
name
not
running back
doing
Winston
that.
had.
Name their running back.
That
Name
Muscle
the
Hamster,
running back that played with
whatever.
Jameis Winston.
That muscle hamster, what the name was?
Yeah, Muscle Hamster. Name it.
Ronald
That's
Jones.
it.
Yeah, I can't really name anyone.
So,
But I mean,
okay.
look,
They call him the muscle
hey,
hand.
we gonna see. We gonna see. I'm telling you
Hey,
right now, man.
Let's
Don't get
let's
your
knock
hopes
these
up.
other QBs out real quick. Let's knock these other QBs
Okay,
out real quick.
let's
Come on,
So we
CJ.
also there's some rumors about the Raiders, but I think they end up with Carr.
They're gonna trade him. I say
yeah.
trade.
And then
Yeah, I do too.
I think ultimately Deshaun Watson ends up in a jet, and then that will put Sam Darnold with the Texans.
Oh man,
I can see that. I can see
Here-
that.
I hate that for that.
So this is
I
good
meant-
news.
Deshaun, Jesus.
I think just Deshaun is staying in Houston. I don't think anybody's taking that hit.
He's either going to become a Jet or he's going to stay in Houston. I agree with
those.
that.
Those are the only two options. I got to agree with CJ.
Cal McNutt, he's staying here.
I hope Deshaun stays in Houston, then go to New York. The Jets.
I wouldn't go to New York. I had to stay here.
I wouldn't wish New York on no quarterback that's in the league right now.
Right.
That team.
Neither New York. Neither New York.
Gase is gone, so it could be a little better, maybe. I don't know. But then
Hey, but you still got the owner though. You still got the same owner. He don't know what the hell he doing. He don't.
The Panthers have Teddy Bridgewater, but I just heard a rumor a couple days ago.
They don't want him.
That they were talking
trying
about
to trade him.
They were talking about possibly moving up, trading Teddy, and trying to draft Trey Lance. I don't know how true that is, but that's something I read the other day.
I got a question. What's wrong with Teddy Bridgewater? What's wrong with him?
Nothing. They're just stupid. They're stupid.
He's average. He's average. That's it. He's an average.
I think Teddy's above average. I think so.
No, he is not.
Teddy's above average.
The coach wants his own quarterback.
First of all, he throw with gloves on. He throw with gloves on. He average.
He an average quarterback, man.
He throw with gloves on. He average.
It's just like Seattle. It's just like Seattle. You know,
he average.
We probably need to move on current NBA season.
Let me throw this one more thing out there real quick, Vanessa. Actually, two more things. The Broncos end up keeping Drew Lock, and then here's the one thing that's probably not being talked about. And Tony gonna hate this, but he might like it. I think the Falcons end up trading Matt Ryan, and they end up drafting Justin Fields. But that's just,
you mean with that $40 million cap hit? Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Hey,
I keep telling you, that's not gonna happen, dude. That's not gonna happen.
We can't trade.
We like $400 million above the cap, dude.
The Niners are also going to keep Jimmy G, but I think they're going to draft Zach Wilson. So that's another.
What about Indy? Indy needs a quarterback.
Indy go get Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna say something stupid.
Indy gonna have Matt Ryan.
That's the thing I heard too. I did hear Matt Ryan going in.
Let me tell you something. I wouldn't be upset if we could dump that contract, but it's not feasible for the salary cap. It's already going down. We already gonna take a bigger hit. We already over the salary cap. So you want to add money to us being over even more? Not even possible.
All right, man. Just wait and see.
I'd rather us get rid of Julio and draft Jamar Chase. Do that. If you want to do something stupid, get rid of Julio and get me Jamar Chase. Give me a good three-headed monster.
Yeah, but I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
His cap hit is smaller. His cap hit is smaller.
Y'all cap is prevent y'all doing anything.
Exactly. Shit, we might not have no money to get any of the draft picks signed. The hell. We might just do a fantasy draft and call it our year.
Give them coupons. You get some coupons.
Hey, you could have played for us. Hey, you'll play for us next year. We signing everybody
off of Groupon.
We signing everybody to future contracts. That's how we gonna do it this year.
Hey, what's the next topic?
The next topic is the NBA season so far. We're getting close to the All-Star break that nobody wants to play. So, what do you guys think? I don't want to talk about the Lakers right now because they make my head hurt.
No, let's talk about LeBron and how he got called for flopping again.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
You know what?
Let's talk about that.
I'm not a LeBron fan, so we can talk about that. I'm just talking about
who's a bigger flopper, him or Harden?
Him.
LeBron. It ain't even close.
I've never seen. You know what? You guys are probably right because I didn't watch LeBron prior to him.
Let me tell you what the
last his whole career.
Let me tell you what the last flop looked like. When you playing Madden and one of the players catch the ball, like the ball be way on over, and somehow the ball moves. Like a ghost is making it go somewhere.
Yeah,
that's exactly. It looked like 2K had a glitch in it. That's how bad LeBron flopped. I mean,
literally, the guy was standing there, and LeBron
was it as bad as Butler's?
Yes. This was probably it's between him and Kazuma. Kyle Kazuma did the same thing. I think he's rubbing off on his teammates.
See, man, LeBron makes me furious when he does this crap because it's like,
and
man,
he's like 280 pounds.
I mean, kids are gonna see that and be like, hey, I want to be like LeBron and flop. Not, hey, I'm a dunk, I make a good shot. Hey, I'm a flop. Man,
you ever seen somebody step on ice and just throw their hands in the air? That's what it looked like.
That is exactly what it looked like.
That's what I was like.
When the
and he got called for it. And he got called for it.
What was bad? The commentators was like, "Oh man, this got to stop." It was. Come on, dude.
I got my TV's back in my room. I got to start watching the game.
I think it was one of the worst flops I've ever seen.
It was.
Wow,
It was.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Yeah, I heard about it.
No,
but
it
I
was bad. It was
It
bad.
reminded me whenever I worked at the plant and we would do calisthenics and we'd raise our arms up to do stretches, and that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like they took a break to do stretches and this dude fell on the ground. I mean,
because nobody moved but him. He was the only one to move.
The dude, hey, what was funny, the dude with the ball kind of like, man.
Dude, hey, Ness, dude had the ball like this. LeBron flopped, dude was like,
He looked
and
like,
he looked at the ref like, I didn't even move.
he looked like he was going to take his ball and go home. That's
He,
what
like
he
he,
looked
got,
like.
he looked like he got shot. That's what happened.
And can we, since we hating on LeBron, can we talk about how he took 3 steps from half court to make that layup? Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Can we talk about that?
Man, you know what?
I think that Euro step is nothing but a damn travel. But
Everything he does is wrong.
but it's a
The
Euro
Euro
step.
step is not a travel.
not the
It
Euro
is.
step.
It's a
It's
Euro
not.
step.
That's the Euro.
It's not a travel.
But
It's
that,
a
he
travel,
took
but
3.
it's a Euro step.
He took 3.5 steps from the free. Nobody can take 2 steps from the half court and can make a layup.
wait, okay, so
LeBron can.
He out there playing spades.
Most of
Playing
y'all-
impossible.
Newt Bowl couldn't even do that.
Aaron is familiar and Adrian is familiar with the black man. He's not here with us anymore, but he used to say about LeBron all the time that he traveled so much he should just show up at the at the stadium with luggage.
That's what I'm saying. His sneakers got frequent flyer miles on it. That's how much he go. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous.
Hey, let's talk about the NBA though. That's
He's gonna do
are
more.
talking.
Since
Oh, that's
Anthony
enough.
Davis is about to be out, AD is about to be out, so expect much more of this.
And you see what happened when AD went out.
They said only 2 weeks though. They said only 2 weeks.
He
But-
needs to be out longer than that. Something's wrong with his Achilles, and they're gonna keep fucking around.
You're gonna
Didn't he
I
have
think
the
of
same-
Kevin Durant. I think
Didn't
of
he have the
KD.
same injury in New Orleans?
Yep.
He's had that injury for a while.
Remember, was it Achilles in New Orleans? I thought it
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
something
I
else.
think it was.
Yeah, I think most of the big men always have problems with their Achilles.
I don't know why they're rushing him to come back, because to me that is something you want to take
Because
your
they
time.
can't win with LeBron.
Because he's the
They're not
MVP.
They're
LeBron
not-
is not. AD
they
is that
cannot
team.
win with. They cannot win with
I'm so
LeBron.
They are first in the division right now.
Because of
Why-
AD. Because of
They
AD.
scored 5. I was just hating.
I get it. But
Well, I
take
need more help.
your time. I mean, get to the
They gonna-
playoffs and be healthy. I mean,
Bron gonna have
y'all
to get a
see-
time
y'all remember
machine
what-
and
y'all
go
remember
get
what
like John Havlicek and Bill Russell. That's what's gonna happen. Bron gonna go get a time machine. He need more help.
Man, the Lakers gonna try to sign damn Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin or something. Watch, it's something like that gonna happen.
Yeah,
Wait,
man,
no,
yeah.
'cause
Wait,
they-
wait, wait.
Or
Well, why
y'all
you
gonna,
tripping,
y'all gonna
Andre?
make Vanessa kill all of us.
I'm sorry, Nelson.
No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will take anybody that can freaking help. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying that's those
Blake,
two dudes
get Blake.
have been.
Well, Andre Drummond is on the trade block though. Andre Drummond is on the trade block.
Hey, so is Blake Griffin. Neither one of those guys are playing
Blake's
anymore this
saying
season.
he's not playing until
No, it's not. It's not him. It's not him saying it. The organization is saying those guys are not playing until they're traded.
he was playing last night because they said they sat him down.
Well, tonight. Well, this came out today that these guys are not playing anymore until the trade deadline. So, but let's talk about some.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's talk about some of the other teams though. I mean, I think the league this year is kind of sad to be honest. Because I mean, have you guys like seen the East? The East
Yes.
is trash.
Yes.
Yes.
The
As you
East
can
is
see,
trash.
I'm
When is
I'm
the
hiding my
East not
Hawks hat right
bad?
now.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I think like what is it? Let me look real quick. I think
I think the
Washington.
fourth spot is
What happened to that other
The-
super team that was going to
the eighth place team in the West. The eighth place team in the West would be like the number 4 seed right now in the East, which is ridiculous.
He's been trash for years, though.
So
Sure has.
Blame Michael Jordan.
we talking about the Lakers, but like real talk, the Jazz so far have the best record in the NBA, and I mean
But they the Jazz, so I mean, it'll balance out at the end.
that's what I
It's
think.
Utah.
too.
Carl Malone ain't coming out to save them. They'll fold eventually.
Nah, they'll fold up. They got some nice uniforms though. But
The Clippers are in third. I think everybody expected the Clippers to be, one of the elite teams. I think it's impressive what the Suns are doing. The Suns are doing with Chris Paul.
People
I
don't
think
give
they're under the radar.
people don't
They're under
give
the radar, but
D
they
Book
look good.
enough credit.
They
don't give
started
sleeping on D Book.
at the end of the season last season. The
Mhm.
Phoenix is on a tear. at the end of the season last season.
But it's Phoenix though. It's like you can't really get too hype on them. You can't get too hype on them because it's like, man, they look good. It's kind of like James Harden. James Harden is great in the season, scoring your 50 points, a night or whatever. In the playoffs, you can't find. And that's the same thing. I parallel that with a Utah and a Phoenix. They look good early.
Phoenix ain't even made the playoffs, so you can't say that about D-Book. They ain't even made the playoffs.
Phoenix ain't been relevant since Kevin Johnson. Phoenix ain't been relevant since Kevin Johnson.
Those guys want to win. Those guys playing with heart.
Having heart and having a winning record is two different things.
They do have a winning record. 17-9.
That ain't no fuck. That's a luck. That's a luck win. They ain't no winning record.
They're 17-9. They're fourth in the West. Why y'all hating on Phoenix, man?
Just because.
I'm saying they don't give Devin Booker enough. Devin Booker don't get enough recognition in the NBA for what he does.
CJ comes back to the table, man. You had something to say.
No, he didn't.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. The Jazz have been playing impressively, man. They play. I think they play good team basketball, and I'm not saying they about to win the championship or even win the West, but I think what they've been doing is impressive. And then you got your teams out there like the Blazers, the Spurs. The Spurs are kind of surprising being in the sixth seed.
The Blazers are disappointing to me. I'm sorry.
They're the fifth seed. They're number 5 right now.
How's that disappointing?
And CJ McCollum's been out a lot. Zach Collins isn't playing. Nurkic isn't playing. Like they're essentially missing 3 starters right now. So the fact that they're in the fifth seed with 16 wins is pretty impressive to me. I think Dame Lillard's been doing his thing. Then you got the Nuggets. You got the Nuggets in 7th and the Warriors in 8th. I think to me the Nuggets are the team that's been slightly a little disappointing. Even though Joker's been killing it though, man. Joker's like a MVP candidate for sure.
So I'm gonna go through something with Portland. These are their last 7 games. You'll see why. So Houston, they lost 104-101. Then they beat the Bulls, big whoop, 123-122 by 1. Milwaukee, they lost by double digits, 134-106. Then
they that game.
You're right.
Well,
they should have lost that one.
Okay, all right. All right.
Yeah, your argument is falling apart right now.
Wait. Significant loss. The Knicks by double digits.
Knicks been better this season,
but the Knicks don't suck.
What?
They better
Knicks
this year.
don't suck.
They better. I'm not saying they good.
Come on, man. So then, all right, Orlando 106-97. All right, I will give them this. 76ers 118-114. Then they beat Cleveland 129-110. Expected Mavs 121-118. So to me,
I'm not understanding your argument.
So what's your argument?
The reason why I'm saying is that to me, with Damian Lillard, everyone was saying, and including Damian Lillard himself, is that this is going to be the year for Portland. I was expecting a whole lot more from this team.
But every athlete says that, Harold.
Wait, I didn't know the basketball. Is the NBA season over? Is the NBA season over?
Yeah, I'm just saying I was expecting more for Portland. Do y'all think they're gonna make a run for the championship? That's what I was expecting.
Not with all these guys hurt, Harold. You got to take things into consideration. They didn't expect 3 of their starters to not be in the lineup.
That's their entire
3 big starters at that.
Yeah, you take out 3 of your big guns out of your starting lineup. What are you supposed to do?
Collins missing, Nurkic missing. I don't think Collins
is the heart of their defense. So if you take that out, that's why the scores are 120, 130, 116.
How many people they got on 10-day contracts? That's what you need to look at. That bitch only goes so deep.
Hey, Tony, watch this. Tony, watch this.
I got you.
Name 2 players that play for the Blazers that are currently in their starting lineup. That's not named Damian Lillard. Name 2, Harold. Name 2.
Why? I don't understand the point. What is the point you're trying to make? What is the point?
The point is that you got all these expectations for this team, and there's no names playing for this team right now. That's what I'm saying. They don't got nobody.
You got Juju on the beat playing point guard, and Soulja Boy playing power forward. Then you got Hot Sauce in the middle trying to play center. Come on, dude. Come on. That's not working.
See, all right, y'all fall into that whole category, and that whole point is, to me, we're expecting super teams, a star player, and that's the reason why they should be winning a championship. I mean, granted, I get the whole errand run as far as how the NBA has been built. I get that. But what I'm saying is that let's look at Brooklyn, say, for example, super team right now. Do y'all expect them to go to the from the East to go to the championship? What do y'all think? Honest question.
I think they got. I think they got a good shot, but they got to play. They got to play some better defense.
Yeah.
Can't nobody.
That's why they're not going nowhere. They're not going to make it out the first round.
I don't think they're going anywhere, even with the talent that they do have, because they don't have chemistry and they're not playing with heart. I don't care what you say, but
they don't got
right
chemistry,
now,
bro. They're like, I think they're like 6-2 when the big three play. I mean, what are you talking about?
To me, I haven't seen that 6-2 whenever they all been out there. I've not seen that.
No, they're like 6-2 when the big three play. That's what they are.
I have not seen that.
They are 6 when all of them play.
So I'm pulling up Brooklyn's record right now. So we're looking at let's just say from the month of February. Okay. And I don't know all the lineups. So they lost this to the Wizards 149-146. No defense there, we can tell. They won against the Clippers 124-120. Then they lost against Toronto 123-117. Lost to Philly 124-108. Lost to the Pistons by double digits 122-111. Then they beat the Pacers, beat the Warriors, and then
you're making absolutely no argument whatsoever. You're making no argument. You just reading out scores.
Who was in what lineup. I don't know who was in the lineup.
Is anyone injured right now? Is anyone injured for Brooklyn?
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is injured.
Yeah, Durant out.
When the last time
re-injured his ankle?
Oh, okay.
And I want to say one of the games they lost recently was the game where he played. Well, he couldn't play because of COVID. Then they put him. Then they said, "Oh, he can play," but then they took him right back out the game. So that was one of the games they lost recently. But like I told you, they're 6-2 or something, or when those three dudes play together. And I'm not saying they're going to win a championship, but they got to find some defense. But you got to also score as many. You got to score as many points as they scoring though. I mean, they're gonna score 115 every night. So,
I mean, it's the same damn Mike D'Antoni offense. I mean, you gonna get the same thing with the Nets that you got with the should have won a championship Clippers. And like somebody said, there's no chemistry. The media hyping it up. Yeah, they gonna big three. They gonna make a championship. No, they not. They don't look good on paper.
They are not a super team. I wish people would stop saying.
You just made my point for me. You just made my point. They are a super team. Do you say they're not a super team? No, I'm talking to CJ.
No, they are
not a super team.
Okay.
When you put 3 stars together, man, that's a super team. That is what it is.
Super team. They are a super team, but they're not going to make. They're not going to make it to the championship. They're not going to make it to the title. I don't see it.
So if they don't make it to the title, that's not a super team, right? Because if you put a super team together, super team gonna make it to the title, and everybody is pretty much in agreement that they're not gonna make it to the title.
You can't say that. I mean, every team that wins the title is not a super team. Toronto, that wasn't a super team, not by far. They won the title. That was nowhere close to a super team.
So who's gonna come out the East then, Harold? Or anybody who thinks that there's no chance that Brooklyn wins.
You know, to be honest with you, right now it don't even matter because I don't like none of them squads. I mean, to me, man, Hornets.
I tell y'all what, for the sake of time.
Yeah, because we're out of time.
Anybody got okay, I would say if anybody got a pick for the East, go ahead and say it now. We'll revisit it.
76ers. That's it. Let's go. Next.
Okay, next. Everybody probably saw, or maybe not everybody, CJ more than likely, saw tequila drunk Tom Brady toss the Lombardi across to another boat to Gronk and them. And apparently I guess she's the daughter of the guy who
the daughter of the granddaughter or great granddaughter of some. She related to somehow.
She don't even watch football, and that's when I stopped reading the article. But apparently she watches the Super Bowl to see the trophy come out, and she watches the parades, I guess. And when she saw Tom throw it, she got in her feelings about it. me personally, I'm like, if you don't watch football, you don't understand. Shut the hell up. That's how I felt about it. How do y'all feel?
Why is she making a big deal? I don't
understand either. I would have understood if he'd have thrown it and it would have smashed or something, but I didn't understand
her being offended is like somebody being offended about the anthem because their great grandfather fought in World War I.
Yeah,
pretty much right there.
I kind of like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just happy to see Tom Brady like that. I
like nobody cares about her. Let's just get that out there.
Let me. I'm gonna just say my thing.
We call that GOAT shit, baby. That's GOAT shit. Let's throw the trophy.
Once he won, that was their trophy. What they do with their trophy,
that's their trophy.
is what they do with their trophy.
What they do with their trophy.
So my question is, where was she at? So I don't know if you guys know this story or not, but I can't remember what Super Bowl it was. There was a Super Bowl where the Patriots won, of course. Go Pats. And they were at the Red Sox game to throw out the first pitch. And I forgot they were in somewhere where they were like practicing batting or something. And somebody threw a pitch, and Gronkowski actually stuck the trophy out, and the ball hit the trophy, and it dented the trophy.
You know, that's the first I'm hearing about this.
I remember that.
That's real. I can't remember what Super Bowl it was, but where was she at when that happened?
I didn't even know. She must not have known because I damn sure didn't. That's the first time I've ever heard.
I remember that story.
Let me ask y'all something here, because the Stanley Cup, I mean, they take that all around.
They party with that.
They drink alcohol.
They drink out of the Stanley Cup, don't they?
It got broke.
Hey, Harold, there's different kind of white people. Different kind of white people.
That's how that COVID got spread with that damn Stanley Cup.
But to me, Tom Brady throwing that trophy was the biggest slap in Bill Belichick's face ever.
I agree. That was like, hey man.
The only reason I disagree with it is because I think by then he was so drunk he might not even remember throwing the damn trophy.
He remembers having Bill Belichick in the face with the
Did y'all see the tweet he wrote after? He wrote something about like he said something like nothing to see here, just a little bit of avocado tequila. And
I wonder how that tastes, man. Yo, that
it is. I looked it up and it looks like it's tequila mixed with actual avocado.
Yeah,
that does not sound entertaining.
That sounds awful.
That doesn't sound appetizing.
If I want to mind her damn business and do whatever it is she does the other 364 days of the year.
Let's just all agree.
She do what everybody else. What she need to do is what everybody else need to do. That's mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with you.
As long as they don't drop it, or as long as they don't break it,
even if they dropped it, what's that? You know what, Tony? It's theirs. It's theirs.
I just don't want a dented trophy, man. Who wants to stand that?
Bro, I would take a trophy if you mailed it to me in 15 pieces and I had to get Gorilla Glue on that.
I mean, I know you would, being that Atlanta hasn't won anything since the 90s. I get it, but I mean,
fuck ever.
I don't even care. One trophy. Fuck it. I don't care.
We triggered Tony, y'all.
I don't even care.
We can't mention the word championship in front of Tony. He just
speaking of mind
topic. I want Tony to go.
Wait a minute. CJ had something. What, man?
CJ, go ahead, CJ.
No. I was just gonna say, man. Speaking of mind your business.
Watch your mouth, though.
Maybe that's what the NBA should have did when it came to this whole Dallas Mavericks thing and the anthem thing. Is that what y'all think?
Yes.
I
agree.
Nice segue right there. Nice segue. I like that.
You are actually good for something.
Hey, you know,
as a Mavericks fan, I concur with that statement.
I'm going to be in a minority. I think, look, regardless of what's going on,
Harold, nobody's in the military
right now. But what I'm saying,
I'm active duty.
Oh.
The national anthem still needs to be played before every game. Now you could choose whether or not you're game or not.
You don't hear it every day before you go.
No. Hey, I got this. Why?
My point is this: it's because
I want to watch you
out of tradition.
Because I don't agree.
I'm about to say it. Number one, out of tradition. Number two is this: is that to me, basketball right now, the NBA is an international game. When we go up to Canada, they play the Canadian national anthem. When they come down here, they do the exact same thing. I still think to do that and not recognize that, hey, this is the country that we can play for. Now, look, I'm not talking about everyone standing up for it, but you should at least have the choice whether or not you want to stand for the anthem or not. And by taking away the anthem, you're not giving even those Americans that want to stand, you're not even giving them the option. And I think that, to me, that is restrictive. That is, it goes against, even though you may disagree whether or not we're actually following the ideas of America, you can disagree with that all day, and I understand. But to me, the founding things, as far as the ideals, still need to be practiced whenever possible.
That's you digging a hole, digging a hole.
Okay, so
I mean, I don't care.
let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
I'll disagree because to me, but here's the thing. Also, here's the other thing that I'm saying. What are you trying to prove by not playing the anthem? What is it are you trying to say by not playing it? I mean, that's my whole thing. You're not going to play the anthem. So what exactly is the point? I mean, because to me, you can play the anthem and still take a knee. To me, that speaks more in volumes than not playing it at all.
Let me address that right there, because I got this.
Okay, all right, I'm
I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear from everybody.
Let's address this last part about playing the anthem and why we shouldn't do it. One, this is what they call forced patriotism. That's what this does. When you play something that identifies with a country and you're playing it, one, the people who are patriotic to that point feel the need to stand up to recognize this anthem. Now, the people like myself who have the choice of not standing, when I don't, the people that do now have animosity toward me for no reason but my choice that is free to not do that. So now you've just created a problem at the stadium. People today and in the history of sports use this as an escape from real life. That's what sports are. If you play sports, you know when you get on that field, it's an entirely different lifestyle for you. Yeah. If you're a jock in high school, your life is different than if you're in a chess club.
So let me ask you a question.
So I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you.
Let him finish.
I'm not done with you.
Go ahead. Done with me.
let's address the NFL. Before they forced the players, they did force the players to come out of the locker room to stand on the sideline when they played it. But before the military donated a couple $1 million to the NFL, the players stayed in the locker room while this anthem was being played. Then they came out to the field.
That is true.
Now they're like, no, we need you out here. Again, that's another example of
that's different than this situation.
It's not, because if we also think back to when Muhammad Sharif Abdul Rahim,
right,
Muslim,
right,
it's not his anthem.
Hey, you might need to tell him his name. Tell him his other name, because other people, most people.
I know more Sharif. I know more as Sharif.
It was Sharif Abdul Rahim, and it was Muhammad something. I forget.
I know Matt Sharif. Go ahead.
No, he got a root, but he technically got blackballed out of the NBA because this was not his anthem. Why does he need to stand for his anthem? You know what that caused? That caused problems not only for him and his team, but that caused problem for the owner, which caused problem for his ticket sales. And you know what happens when you piss off white people's money? They feel like they got to handle you. And that's the problem that this causes. You don't need to play a national anthem in America. Why would you need to play that here? We know where we are.
So all right. So let me counter that with this. First of all, between the NFL and the NBA, the reason why I'm saying it's apples and oranges is this: forcing someone to come out the locker room. I actually agree with saying that, hey, look, you should have the choice whether or not you want to stay in the locker room or not. That's not what I'm arguing. What I'm arguing is not necessarily for the players. What I'm talking about is for the public that's coming in. To me, in my opinion, I can choose whether or not, if I want to stand for the anthem or if I don't want to stand, then to me, that is my choice. And I will not stand unapologetically. So if you're talking about,
and again, I'm not done.
Hold on. If you're talking about players in the strike that it caused, and you mentioned Sharif, which was about 20 to 30 years ago, right now, we have players right now, if they wanted to stand, or they wanted to pray, take a knee, then they could do so. players have been taking
and face repercussions. They still face the repercussions if they do that.
Yeah, it's a fine.
repercussions. What fines?
It's a fine. Yeah, they get fined.
Yes.
Oh, in the NBA,
They get fined for that.
All right.
They get fined.
In the
But
NBA?
okay, but,
Yes.
Well, yeah, they
It
get
is.
fined.
It is.
but
Yes.
okay, again, but
They are
what I'm
forced
saying
to
is,
stand.
so are you saying don't play the anthem so the NBA players do not get fined? So what is the
I'm
bottom line
saying
that we're
there's
saying
no
that we should
point
do
of
this?
playing a national anthem on American soil
At any
with an
sporting
American
event.
game. It's no point whatsoever.
What about
Why
the
are you doing
Olympics?
this?
What
The
is
Olympics
it
That's
about the
international.
Is it
The
practice?
That's
Olympics is
international.
that's
I
the
have a
one time I can
I have a
understand.
question. Oh, go ahead.
That's
Go ahead.
and it's
What's
just
the
like
difference?
I'll
What's
put it
the
like
difference?
this. Let's look at
What
it like this.
is the difference?
You've been in the military. You've been in the military, right?
Right.
You do know why the flag is on your uniform, right?
Of course.
It's to identify what country
Right.
you're from, right?
Right.
That's when you go out of the country. That way, if you're killed overseas, they know where to send your body.
Of course.
You don't need to play something here. We don't need the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem, nothing played these sporting events while you're in America. I can understand if we go into London or we go into Mexico or we go into Canada. Those are different countries.
NBA
I can
players.
understand that.
All right. So again, so
You don't
if
need to
I'm-
do
if
that
I'm-
here.
If I'm the Mavericks and I go to Toronto and I say, "Hey, look, do not play our anthem," should me?
That's
Do
on
I have
them.
the right to do so?
That's on them.
It's Canada. You in Toronto.
It's in Toronto. They don't have to play that.
To
no,
me,
no,
they don't have to.
again, again,
Y'all wait.
again.
Okay.
The NBA has played.
Stop.
The NBA has hold on. The NBA has played
You
for
got
the
next.
paying consumer that come into the arena. This is not about the players can choose to do what they want to do, but the fact of the matter remains is that there's still some Americans who feel that they should stand for the anthem, and they play the game for the fans, whether they know it or not. They are there to entertain the fans. Period.
You
And
gonna
to
let anybody
me,
else chime in?
removing
Yeah, but that ain't got
option
nothing to do.
as
That
a
got nothing to
fan.
do with the anthem, though.
You gonna let anybody else
Nothing to
chime
do
in?
with
or not?
Yes, it
It's
does.
your turn. You can
Go
have
ahead,
my
go
have my
ahead.
time
Go
right
ahead,
now.
go ahead.
AC, you got
No.
mine.
First of all, let me reel this thing in. First of all, Vanessa had a question. So Vanessa, go ahead. What you wanted to ask first? So we
I'm sure
go ahead.
all of us. I'm sure all of us have been to a sporting event prior to Kaepernick bringing this issue to the forefront.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know how many people really gave a damn if that anthem played or not. Most
Not
of them
that-
is sitting around and nobody cared.
Not the
And
ones standing outside getting beer.
when Kaepernick did it, all of a sudden it was this huge ass issue. As a matter of fact, I don't think the NFL even played the anthem, and if they did, they didn't show it on TV.
Yeah, they did. They
So
did.
after 9/11,
They didn't show it on TV.
They didn't show it on TV.
So before 2009, that's
Yep.
when
2009.
that's when they started making it where the players had to come out and stand for the anthem and all that stuff.
Because you
I
had
think
money.
they-
It was money
all
involved.
these people, like how many of us in uniform, and don't lie, have done that sprint right before 5 o'clock?
I
Shit,
didn't do
before 8. Shit, what are you talking about?
Clock when you getting ready to leave, and you look at the clock and it's 4:57. You're like, nah, they ain't about.
I'm not going outside right now. They ain't catching me all the
I
time.
mean, so
that. It feels really hot.
So the pivot off of Vanessa's point, and I'm gonna go back toward Harold here. I mean,
Okay.
I hear what you're saying about the people who want to, these alleged people who want to support the anthem or whatever the case might be. Then look, we all been to the games, like Vanessa said. People don't care. The people out there cussing, drinking, buying hot dogs and stuff when the anthem playing. The people in the stands running their mouth and stuff. Please let us have a moment for the anthem. Ain't nobody paying attention to that shit. It wasn't until Kaepernick took a knee, and we all know when Kaepernick took a knee, it became an issue of patriotism.
I
blah, 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 blah.
And
I
he
You can
disagree.
disagree all day,
But what
We've
you're saying,
seen it.
what you're saying is not factual. There have been plenty of
It is
times,
factual.
even when whenever I was in high school, and they would play the anthem, and kids would be walking, there'll be certain. Now, granted, we can argue on the fact
That
that
was 40
how
years
many-
ago.
But hold on, what I'm saying is this: we can argue over how many people care versus do not care. But the point is, there are people who legitimately care. There are people. For you to say that 100% of the public do not care is crazy.
First of all, I didn't say 100%. Second of all,
You
the
said
problem
all
with these
people
whole-
don't care.
I say people don't care. But listen to what I'm going to tell you. Here's the point, and go back to what Tony said. Once you put the money into it, once the military started putting money into these games, and sponsoring this patriotism,
No, I
you
agree.
diluted the whole thing.
No,
I
agree.
If you want to be now again, if you want to be technical about it, before every NFL game, they violate the flag code every single time by laying that flag horizontally. That's violating. And then if you watch in Kansas City, Kansas City, you know what they do? They wheel it to the end zone and drop it on the ground. You're supposed to burn it then, but you don't hear nothing coming on about that. You got to pay attention.
And then look, there are many hypocrisies that we can point out. The point is that if we're talking about freedom, then to me, taking away the choice by someone whether or not they want to stand or not stand goes against our principles.
But now you're taking away the choice of the place to play it or not to play it.
Exactly.
You can't have it both ways.
You can't slice it both ways.
You can't.
When you mean to play it or not to play it? To me, they should. To me, what I'm saying is
exactly.
They
You're saying they should, but what if they don't want to? Now you're telling them they have to. You're just making them do it. Because that's what your choice is.
To me,
they said the Mavs had been stopped playing.
They hadn't played it this season. They just announced it.
So my question keeps going back to it is this. What is the bottom line? And help me to understand, what is the bottom line point that you think Mark Cuban is trying to do with this national anthem? What is the bottom line point?
I think he's using his position. He's using his position and the
do what?
Can I read you what he said?
Okay,
Can I
read you what he said? Go ahead.
Let me read you what he said. He did this during ESPN's The Jump. He had an interview. Mm-hmm. He said his organization has no problem playing the anthem at all, and that the decision not to do so was, to this point in next season, was the product of the ongoing conversations with members of his community who felt the tradition did not fully represent them.
Yeah.
So he talking to us because I don't feel like it represent me. That's not me.
Look. Let me just say this from my own personal point of view. This is my own personal view. How I feel right now, we're not committed to the standards of what we have talked about as far as the pledge, as far as the flag, and have we lived up to it? Absolutely not. I will be the first one to say.
I want to rebut.
We have not lived up to what we have preached across the world, to ourselves. We have not lived up to it. That's how I feel personally. I will also say that anyone that wants to walk out, anyone that wants to pray, anyone that wants to take a knee, anyone that does not even want to come out the locker room, to me, I would perfectly understand that, and I would definitely be okay with that. I would just want to go on the record as saying that. That's my own. But
that's not the Patriots. That's not them Patriots.
But hold on. This is what I'm about to say. And this is what I'm about to say about that whole Patriot thing. One of the things that we have to get out of right now, because this is an argument between conservative and liberal. I refuse to label conservatives as the only patriots. That is false. So to me, in any form, they should not take that moniker. Period. To me, correct. we are patriot. We are just as patriotic as them. To me, dissension is the biggest form of patriotism. The only thing that I'm saying is, to me, I would make, this is just me, in Harold Land, by having that anthem out there, and if I wanted to come out during the time that they're playing the Star Spangled Banner, and I open a big banner that says, hey, we ain't living up to this, I think that'll show everyone, hey, look, we ain't living up to this. And so to me, by not playing it, people are just going to ignore it. It's not going to do anything for social justice. That's my whole point. That is not going to do anything for social justice. Colin Kaepernick taking a knee made people, hey, let's take a moment of pause. Why is he doing that? Agree or disagree with him, it made people take a moment of pause. That's my point. Go ahead, AC.
All right. I'm going to counter your living in Harold Land and say this. The problem with you started out when you said tradition. You put tradition in your original opening statement.
I did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if we stuck with tradition that gotta go along with the lines of that anthem and everything, we still be in chains. I mean,
no, come on, man. No, come on. That is too extreme.
No. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to my point, Harold. there has to be a point we have to be able to look into new things and new traditions. The quote unquote conservatives, the Republicans keep trying to drag us back, and I'm not trying to make this thing political, but it's an obvious public stance from some of these people. They keep trying to drag us back to the good old days. The good old days for them.
I am on that. Look, I am with you when it becomes to conservative versus liberal. Okay, how I feel.
So I mean, exactly. So my point is, I understand your feelings about that anthem, but at the end of the day, if we really look at it from a bigger picture standpoint, playing it does what? It makes people feel good. I mean, you get to go out there. I feel patriotic. I don't feel any connection to that anthem. Just like remember to force us to say the Pledge of Allegiance in elementary school. We had no choice. And when you think about it, I pledge allegiance to this flag, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They do the same thing in North Korea, the places that we don't like. They indoctrinate and they condition these people to believe such and such things.
You know what that's called, right?
Go ahead, give it to the crowd.
It's called forced patriotism.
Full
that's
circle.
Exactly what it's called.
Full circle. So I like to say this, Aaron. I understand your position. All I'm saying at this point is we really need to look at all these beloved traditions that we hold so dear to ourselves and ask ourselves, do they still matter and hold the same meaning in 2021 that they did in 1981?
I guess what I'm saying is this, and I know that a lot of people may say, all right, this is going into the lines of conservatism, which I'm not even dare stepping there. But at the end of the day, it does ask the question, as to me, where does it end from there? Because to me, if we're not going to, stand during the anthem, during sporting events, and we take it away, then okay, when is it ever going to be sung? Then the Pledge of Allegiance. When are we ever going to do the Pledge of Allegiance besides being in the military? When is it ever going to happen? And then just to go even further, I'm just telling you, this is the conservative argument, not necessarily mine, but this is a conservative argument. So then what's next? What's next is, why even have a flag? What's next is, okay, why even represent United States at the Olympics? What's next? Because to me, those are the things those are the questions that are going to be asked. Because right now,
I said you got rabbit hole situations. You're right.
It is. It is. One of those things that
I'm still treated as a second-class citizen. I'm still treated as a second-class citizen.
I'm not arguing about that. I'm not arguing about that whatsoever.
I was born here.
All right, let Aaron say something. Let Aaron say something.
Get the last word. Get the last word, bro.
Or you power go out again.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Fine.
Go ahead. You get the last word, cuz.
For your power dip.
All right. So check it out. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear me because we're going through rolling blackouts. But check it out. Let me tell you something about Mark Cuban, Harold. Mark Cuban is probably one of the greatest owners to ever own a team. You find Mark Cuban in Oak Cliff helping out. You find Mark Cuban in South Dallas helping out. You ain't never seen owners in South Dallas. You ain't never seen none of these owners of none of these the dude that own the Dallas Stars. You ain't never seen him in the hood. But you know who you do find in the hood? Trying to help people out, trying to bridge the gap and bring people closer together. Mark Cuban.
Yeah. I love Mark Cuban. I have absolutely no problems with Mark Cuban. My political ideology fits very closely with Mark Cuban. My thing is this: not everyone feels the way Mark Cuban does, and not everyone's political ideologies is along the line as Mark Cuban. But the fans, even those that are opposite of Mark Cuban, the fans are still fans of the Mavericks. And all I'm simply saying is that this can't be the, hey, well, look, this is how I feel show. Believe it or not, you got liberal tickets, you got conservative ticket holders. You got people paying money. And the thing is, and I keep going back to this, is this. I understand the bottom line, what Well, hold on. Let me finish my point. My point is, true patriotism is how you act in your actions toward one another, toward the ideals of what American. I get it. It's more so than just wearing a flag. It's more so than just standing up for the pledge. It's more so than just standing up for the national anthem. I get all of that. I do. But what I am simply saying is this. We are in a critical juncture in time. And the thing is that whether we like it or not, we are not going to reach that perfection that we're all fighting to get. And that leads to the rabbit hole. When are we going to say that, hey, perfection is now reached? Okay, well, we can start either playing or not playing the anthem again, standing or not standing.
The national
this is going to lead to a whole bunch of stuff.
Playing or not playing the national anthem is not going to bring white people and black people together.
I'm not saying that it is, but let's just say, for the example,
not playing divide.
Do y'all think not playing the anthem is going to achieve what you're saying that leaving the anthem there is going to achieve? Because to me,
playing
don't even matter.
Hold on. Hey. Let CJ chime in here and then we can wrap this up.
CJ, get a word in. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. You said, you got this side and you got that side. One side says, oh, you should stand for the national anthem. The other side says, okay, that's fine. You can play your anthem. I'm going to take a knee, right? Mm-hmm. So if we don't play the anthem at all, doesn't that get
nobody's thinking about it.
No one's thinking about it. Right.
If you don't play it, nobody's thinking about it. You see what I'm saying?
Like, doesn't that
half the time they don't even think about it.
No, because think about it, man. They don't. Like everybody said, you in line getting your hot dog, you're drinking, and you're being. Nobody stops doing that. Everybody keeps doing what they're doing when they play the anthem. Not everybody, but about half the crowd does, right? So I don't understand the big hoopla over why it's a big deal if it's played or not played. I do agree that when you go to the Olympics and things like that, then yeah, maybe it should be played because you are there representing the United States of America, right? In some shape or form. But when we home, like you guys said, we know where we at, right? We know where we at. And the anthem means something to some people and it means nothing to other people. For some people, it's a great thing. For some people, it's not a great thing, right? So
and for those guys, it's only a great thing when they want it to be.
Facts, Tony. And so
what's the compromise?
So the guy, think about it though. For the guys on the court though, right? People are coming to the game to watch the games. They're not coming there to hit an anthem. Nobody's coming to the game to hit an anthem
at all. Nobody's coming to stand in formation.
Nobody's coming to do that. So if the guys on the court, right? So even in the NBA, the NFL, or whatever, there's guys on both sides of this, right? Some people, the anthem means something to them. Some of them it means something bad. Some of them means something good. So why are we subjecting the guys to any of it, right? Why subject them to any of it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent? And it, like you guys said, it's
subject whom? The players, right?
Because the players, or people,
the players and the fans,
the players and the fans.
If the game is entertainment, and that's what it's supposed to be, and somebody said earlier, it's an escape from our politicized reality.
Exactly.
Tony, then why don't we just let the game be the game instead of because the anthem has become a politicized, polarizing topic in the last 6 years. And let the game be the game.
Let me. I'm gonna throw one thing out there. Some of y'all might not be old enough to know this, but this kind of falls into the thing of when I was growing up, TV wasn't 24 hours. It stopped at 1 o'clock. And you know what came on it? You know what came on at 1 o'clock? That national anthem with the flag in the background. Yeah. And your TV went off. And you know what that was? It was making sure you remembered that forced patriotism was getting put on you. It was getting into your mind. That's the last thing you see at night. That's the last thing you remember.
But I get what everyone is saying. The only thing that I'm saying is this, is that to me, a lot of the viewpoints that we're talking about on here represents one side. Okay. Now I understand if we're taking that level to represent that one side and say, hey, look, patriotism is indeed like what I said before, how we are upholding to the ideals, the true ideals of America. Okay. And so the thing is this, there's still a large portion of the population who is either, number one, not educated to understand what the true patriotism is. Number two, still contributing money to the Mavericks games, who show up there, who are still and veterans still take pride in that. So the thing is this: Mark Cuban made a choice. It's his team. He can do what he wants to do. I get it.
Yeah.
But my
He
thing
didn't
is,
become an issue until he said something about it. As long as he ain't said nothing about it. Because I'm gonna tell you, I went to 2 years ago. 2 years ago, me and my wife went to a Mavericks game, and they didn't play the anthem then.
and to be honest with you, I'm not really a big fan of the Mavericks anyway. But
I
the
am
main
now.
thing is, well, I guess the main thing is that I didn't even know, to be honest with you. So to me, every time that I'm going to a sporting event, I've always had to stand and that sort of thing. But to me, I just think right now, in a time of political discord that we have, and we are as divided since, you might as well say the 1800s.
Shit,
So
last
The
year.
anthem ain't helping. The anthem
no,
not helping.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. What I'm simply saying is this: is that to me, right now, there are a large portion of this population that are not educated to what we're saying. Either they are stubborn, either they do not have an open mind, or three, they're just full of hatred. And the thing is that to me, I just don't see solving that stupidity problem what we have on the other side of America. It will. To me, you cannot argue with stupidity, and that's what it is. We have that stupid side, and that's all that
Agreed.
I'm saying about that.
I see your point. I do, but you still, just like CJ say, you're wrong.
Just like your boxing list. Matter of
Man,
fact,
I am tired of y'all insulting my boxing
because of
list.
your point on this, your boxing list is worse
You know
than
what?
AC.
Okay. So I want to make this announcement right now.
Why?
I'm gonna make this announcement for our listeners listening in. All-Star Weekend, we are going live. We will be streaming on Facebook. We will be streaming on YouTube. If you have any topics that you want to discuss
Twitch.
on the show and
too.
Twitch, please email us at the podcast group LLC at outlook.com. If your topic gets chosen, you will receive a free prize. We're also going to have a list of top. How many boxes do we have? What was our list? Top 5?
We didn't have it. But y'all started it. I only had 2. Y'all started this with listing shit.
5. What you talking about?
That's because I went off the top of my head.
Okay,
I wasn't
all right.
prepared like that. CJ had like 15 because he an overachiever.
I had 5.
Okay.
I had 5.
He went to magnet school.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Usman for knocking that boy Daniel Burns out and then show him some love after.
No,
we would not. We would not show him love. No, we're not.
that's why we ain't mentioning him. No,
people sneaking in love now. No, that will not happen. But also on the other
Y'all gonna
thing,
put some respect on Usman's name. Put some respect on Usman's name.
I'm not putting respect on nothing.
I'll put some respect on if he's standing in front of me and I gotta fight him.
Oh, he gonna kill you.
I'm past that point in my life. Yes,
I
sir.
gonna put some respect.
Hey,
Usman, if you hear this podcast, I'm riding with you, homie.
Hey,
Hey,
but just know, I carry and I got 17 friends that are a lot faster than I am.
Okay, all right.
Hey,
Look.
Just know.
Aaron and CJ said Usman was the man, so just remember that, bro, if you're listening.
But all right, so
Yeah, the light skinned guy said it.
what we're gonna do, we're gonna put out a poll, okay, of our boxing list. We're gonna let the fans decide who has the best boxing list. That's what
So
we're
we're coming
gonna
up
do.
with a new boxing list. Top 5 boxers. Is that what we're doing?
5 boxers.
Consult with some people because, like I told y'all in that show, I've past the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s.
That's fine. Just don't put none of Harold's people on there.
Hey, no. Hey, look. Here's what we're gonna make this deal right now. The boxers, we must have been alive since. Who's the oldest on here? Tony,
Me.
that's you, right? You 60,
Yep.
right? So we can go
Shit,
back.
might as well be.
All
Add
right,
my
it's
knees
20
in there.
It's 2021, so we can go back to the 1965. No, let's say 1965. All right, 72. Fine.
72.
All right,
That's when I was born. What the hell?
It has to be a boxer since 1972 to present, as far as our top 5 boxing list. Okay, it has to be that. So we're gonna put a poll out there. We want you, the viewers, to vote. Okay, on who has the best and who has the worst. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be at the top.
The bottom. You're gonna be at the top of the bottom. You had the best worst list out there.
Last place.
I know we get ready to wrap things up. I know we done gave Usman some love. I heard that in the background from the light skinned boys.
First of all, we not a WWF tag team. What the fuck are you talking about?
The light skin boys.
That's good, boy.
You know what? Let me tell you something. That's not what y'all don't want us to. Y'all don't want us to team up. And plus, we be the ghetto. We be the ghetto rednecks. That'll be our tag team. We call them the mixed breeds. Y'all don't want us to. Hey CJ.
Yeah,
CJ,
man, they don't
let's team up and just shut it all down. How about that? You don't want that.
They don't want that.
You don't want that.
Anyway,
and we
better keep us on different sides.
Let's skin one of the twins. You heard y'all. I just
we can just shave your head and make you a whole sidekick by itself. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you better pour you another drink. You got to come a little harder than that, man.
I gotta put. I'm already good. What you talking
All
about?
right,
drink some more.
Okay.
Shout out to Coco Golf in the Australian Open. I don't know if they play tonight because I can't keep up with who doing what. I've been watching. I don't know if anybody else watches tennis.
I do watch tennis.
I don't watch the men. I've been watching the women basically because the Williams sisters got me.
That's a shock.
I think it is too early for anyone to compare her.
I ain't got no lotion on the counter. Tony.
Okay. But anyway, my last point is I think it's too early to compare her to Serena. I think it's way too early.
I don't think she's Serena. I mean, I like her raw talent.
Was Serena supposed to have an heir already? When that's supposed to happen? What happened to her?
Who was that?
Right.
Wherever was he going?
Y'all were trying to replace Serena already. Y'all like
Serena was supposed to be replaced 10 years ago.
Let me say this. Let me state my whole case here, right here. I'm not saying Coco is here to knock Serena off, but everybody's been looking like who's coming in. Once the Williams sisters retire, who's gonna be the next name? Who's gonna be the next person? Not the next Michael Jordan type thing, but I think you got Sloane Stephens, Naomi Osaka, who I like. You got Coco Gauff. I don't really count Madison Keys in there, and I leave my reasons why out the gate. But I like Coco as a 16 reminds me of Serena when she had the bees in her head. She was really trying to beat her sister, and she couldn't. But she had that tough game. She was full of power. She needed some guidance. And I see the same thing with Coco Gauff right now. She's a monster at 16, but once she get her complete game put together, she gonna be dangerous. And I like watching her, man, and Osaka, them my two that I like right there. And I think they can dominate the game. Once Serena decides to hang it up, they'll be the next two up.
We will see.
Just my 2 cents on
it's hard to replace legends. We'll see what happens. MJ has not been replaced yet, regardless of the LeBron fans out there. So
LeBron can't even get past Kobe. What are you talking about?
We just gotta wait and see. Well,
rest in peace. Oh, my bad, man. Shout out to Vincent Jackson, man. Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah. Rest in peace, man. Way too young.
38, man.
Yeah, way too young.
Yeah, 38. That's a hard one to swallow right there.
I'm sure the details will come out. We'll definitely be talking about it as the details further emerge. But all right, hey, be safe for the people in the Midwest, out in Texas. Shout out to us because we freezing our ass off right now. But
good.
It is cold.
Well, yeah, it is cold. It is cold. Yeah,
y'all can keep that weather over there because it's getting cold here too. We don't like that.
Shout out to the power outages that are happening.
It's 9 degrees outside my door.
9?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Shit.
His ass in North Dakota.
17 over here.
That's why Harold got all that lotion.
We're gonna be talking about my lotion, man.
Walk outside and he just turned into a ashy snowman.
When we go live, that lotion ain't gonna be sitting up there because everybody's gonna talk
about it. It's gonna be there.
It's gonna be there.
Shout out to Vaseline. Shout out to Vaseline.
Shout out to cocoa butter.
AC. Harold gonna be on there. He say that lotion ain't gonna be back there. They go like, where the lotion? Harold gonna be like,
plug.
Man, I'm out, man.
Harold Vanna White. All right, y'all. Good show. Hey, good talk to y'all on the next episode. Everybody be good until the next time.
Whenever we decide to get back together, it's not a good.
Yeah. Hopefully next time Aaron Powell ain't going out every 38 seconds.
Good show, y'all. That was a real good show.
Y'all trying to corrupt my good Christian mind.
That was a real good show, y'all. That was
Hey, Aaron, smile so we can know you alive over there.
Yeah.
Y'all don't leave my friend alone.
I'm telling you,
it's like no eyes on the emojis. All you see in my eyes.
Hey, he just need a hookah, and it's Alice in Wonderland all over again. I'm telling you.
Hey, you ain't lying. As soon as you saw the flash,
y'all lucky. I could. Y'all lucky. Y'all going in and out. Y'all lucky.
Oh, we talking about you. Just know it. It's all good though.
Hey, I think that segment about the national anthem, that was gold. That was good right there. That was good. Mm-hmm. That was good conversation. That was good.
I wish we would have let off.
I didn't say it, but when you guys were talking about like